Hey guys, this is Daniel, Dr. D, and I'm back with another review, this time on the Schiit SYS. This little passive preamp, or volume control, if you will, um, I think they're about $50. I've had it for several years, and I've been using it more in this room. You guys can look at some of my previous videos. You'll see the acoustics in this room are a little different, not as well treated as the front room. And what I found myself doing is using the Schiit SYS in conjunction with the Dynaco ST70 with the heresies. Now you'll see here, for example, the Earhart Aretha, which is a phenomenal preamp, tube preamp. And the purpose of the SYS is not to replace the preamps. It's just that the reason I'm using the SYS in this room is because it has less coloration. And because the way the room is treated, I think that having less coloration in this room is a nicer thing, because you don't want it to sound too bright or too like overexposed. I don't mean it necessarily in a bad way. It's just that the room treatment is just an important thing. And I have some, rugs on the walls here that are hung to help reduce some of the, just to help dampen things down. But for those of you who have never tried a passive preamp like the SYS, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it and why I like it. It's got two input stages. So I have the topping D30 attached to one input, and I have the Schiit Manny, which is a phono stage, attached to the other input. And the output goes, into the input of the amplifier. So basically all that's happening is that the SYS is just acting as a volume control, nothing more. And it doesn't really have any kind of circuit. It's just an Alps volume control and some RCA jacks, basically. So it doesn't introduce any sound. It's neutral. And it's dead quiet. For example, I have everything tapped on, and you can hear. These are the tweeters on the heresy. You can hear how quiet they are. And most preamps will introduce some sort of floor noise. The Aretha and including my Dynaco Pass 3, all wonderful preamps. They're very quiet for what they are, but tube amps, preamps just in general, if you have a ground loop or something in your room or something, you can, tubes just are known for picking up floor noises and whatnot. It can also introduce hum. That's not necessarily the case I'm having here, but that is one of the nice advantages of a passive preamp like the SYS, where you just don't get any kind of feedback or humming or floor noises or nothing to worry about. And I find that to be an advantage. And what I did is I played the soundtrack to Fantastic Beasts, which is just a beautiful recording, as well as this Miles Davis album, Kind of Blue. And this Columbia pressing is just sensational and very transparent, great bass, very open. Same thing with Fantastic Beasts. So I was up, early in the morning, like 4 a.m., listening to this setup with the ST70 along with the Heresy and the Schiit SYS just alone. This allows you to select between the two stages here, the input stages, so you can select between phono and if you want to play your DAC through your leak transport like I have here. And yeah, so it's just a really nice option. Something else about this turntable, so you know, this Audio Technica, this LP120, these things were only $250. But the reason this thing sounds so incredible, and I've compared this to the Fluence RT85, and it's actually better, and it competes easily with my Thorn's TD165. And the reason it sounds so good, this turntable, is just simply because the phono preamp has been removed from it. And so when I use it in conjunction with the Schiit Manny, which is down here, and this little stack here, Schiit stack, it's a beautiful combination. It works nicely. I don't get any impedance issues with the Dynaco ST70. So, you know, the Schiit SYS, which means switch your shit, is a great option you guys should consider. And it doesn't matter if you spend $10,000, $20,000 on a preamp. This thing will sound incredible and faithful to what the amp itself is, you know, producing. Now, it does have less gain. You know, it does have less gain. It doesn't have any gain, actually. And compared to, like, the Aretha. But if you're using high-efficient speakers, like the Heritage series, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. You're going to get tons of volume out of it. And, you know, this morning I probably had the volume set to about 9 o'clock on, you know, on the SYS. So I just felt it was time to do a review of this product because I think it's just sensational. And, you know, it doesn't matter that it's $50. It serves a specific purpose and does it very, very well. So it wouldn't matter if you brought a $10,000 preamp in here. It's not going to do anything. And I think there's limits to what money can do. And I think people need to understand money doesn't buy you everything, regardless how much you pay. There's nothing, you know, better in this situation than the sound of nothing itself. And this thing basically doesn't produce any kind of sound signature. And that's my whole point. So anyway, yeah, so this turntable works out well with the Manny and the SYS. I don't get any hum, no feedback, no buzzing, no nothing. It's just a very clean, pure signal. With the phono stage removed out of this thing, it no longer goes through the circuitry. Because even if you bypass on the switch to use a separate preamp, on this turntable, it still goes through all that circuit. It doesn't matter if you use a separate phono stage. So the only way to do it is to just remove it all together so the wires go direct. And that's the only way that this thing works so well. So anyway, for those of you who can't afford a preamp, you may want to consider something like a SYS. I highly recommend it. All right, till next time.